Hi guys, here I am in St. Louis on Main Street. It's a pretty amazing place. And I'm actually about to do a walkthrough on Pirate Pictures. I've spoken about these guys a little bit earlier in one of my video logs. Gayle and Wyatt, I've been staying with them and I met them a few years ago at AFM. It was actually 2008 where I went to sell a project called The Pool Cleaner that I had written and developed for myself. These guys are totally incredible independent producers and filmmakers. Wyatt himself has actually directed 3 features, and I've just spent the last couple of days geeking out with him. And I want to take you on a tour of their offices because I'm always interested in seeing people's workspace. And just like the space that I have at home, it really speaks of what he's interested in and what he creates. Just like a makerspace, you can tell the interest by what surrounds him. So let's go upstairs and I'll guide you on a tour and talk to you about what I think is really interesting and allow you guys to see firsthand what a creative space for a filmmaker looks like. Let's go upstairs. Alright, so here we are, and you know what? You wouldn't know this is a film production company except for the Dark Knight Rises poster that's in the door. Pretty cool. These guys are not afraid to talk about what they make. And here we are. These are the offices. Pirate Pictures, a production company. The Pirate Media Group, which is kind of an interesting name for a company, that's for sure. And the Alley Design Group. And open a door. We have their office space. And one of the first things I noticed was all their awards here. And it's a very small world because right here is a 2005 Shriek Fest Film Festival Award that is actually also the film festival where Razor Eaters, a film that I was able to help out with, created by friends of mine in Melbourne, actually attended and won awards. So we are linked by that award, which is really nice. It kind of felt a little bit like I was home. Behind there is Guardians of the Realm, a Ted Smith film that Wyatt worked upon and was actually funded by Pirate Pictures. So it's really kind of neat. And they've got some other amazing awards. If you take a look here. So look at these guys with the hand, with the eye in it. Pretty amazing. If I look at it, there's actually, it says there, Freak Show Film Festival Best Cinematography, 2008 Freaky Award. I love that as a statue. That's really a lot of fun. So let me turn around. And this is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but Wyatt was actually one of the stand-in, well, he wasn't a stand-in, he was actually one of the Predators in Predator 2. And that's Wyatt in his full Predator costume. He was one of the featured Predators at the end of the film, which is really kind of neat. Go around the corner here, and you have Gayle's desk, and with the big pirate flag, which is, again, speaks very much to what they do. Independence, pirates, got to make that happen. If you go around the corner here, and I got really excited about this, it's where they kept all their equipment. This is really kind of cool. They're a fully functional production company, and you can see down here they've got all the things you need. You know, here we got tripods, camera cases, you know, even simple things like clothes pegs. You know, if you're a filmmaker, you know how important it is for clothes pegs. Grips, tape, dollies, windows. A whole lot of stuff up here, which the looks of it is inserts for CDs for Shadowland, which is Wyatt's first production. And I came around here and I thought to myself, wow, look at this. This is an Alien box set, Colonial Marines. These are all old miniatures. When it was the 80s, let me see if I can open this up. In the 80s, they made these. This is one of the few things that you could actually buy as merchandise from Aliens. And these are like really super cool. This is a, who is that? Oh, that's the pilot, the jump pilot. And I was like, you know what? Wyatt and I definitely think of the same. I think these were actually released by Dark Horse, or they were definitely advertised in Dark Horse. There's an ElfQuest figure. So you can see, definitely, these guys might work. This might be their professional day job, but they are definitely interested in a whole lot of stuff. Some more posters of their productions they were involved in. And this is really neat too. So you have Timeline, which is one of their productions. Below that is a Batman comic book and a Time magazine. And then to each side you have the seat backs for Chris Christopherson, Drew Barrymore, and Martin Landau. So, there's a lot of merchandise, really memorabilia, not merchandise. If you go into the editing side, there's Wyatt working away on the computer. Hey, Wyatt.
Hey.
And right behind him are the posters for their productions. Shadowland, and then there's 2 versions of that poster. His latest production, which is on YouTube and is just getting views like crazy, which is The Dark Knight Returns. And on the wall, like every good filmmaker, he has a nice piece of equipment hanging off. I first thought this was a piece of gym equipment and then realized it was actually a camera mount, a jib arm. I get excited about that sort of stuff. Everywhere in every nook and cranny are really interesting stuff. If you've seen the Batman short film, this is a miniature of Robin's costume that they used for an effects shot. And this is, like, I saw it in the movie, but when you go up and look at the love and attention in this thing, see if I can get you a little closer. It is pretty amazing. And just to have it sitting on the shelf here, it's really neat. And then a poster of The Green Slime, an incredible Japanese film, a sci-fi classic, and I found out one of Wyatt's favorite films. Over here is a workbench, and like every great filmmaker, especially independent, you've got a workspace to build all the stuff you need. Look, the polar lights, Star Trek, that's great. I want to get one of these, but more interesting, this is the bat cowl that Wyatt made for his film. And if I reach out and take a look at it and just turn it over, this is actually created by slush molding it with rubber. Just slush casting this. I forgot the name of the rubber. What
latex.
Latex rubber. That's what I was chasing for after. I mean, this is like the detail. This was obviously sculpted, made with negative mold, would have been plaster, and then slush molded. There's 2 of them here. I mean, the detail you can see on these things is just incredible. I'll show you on this one. Look at the brow. Look at the texture on this. Look at all this airbrushing to give it a 3-dimensional feel. Look at the eyepiece. I mean, this is, in this story, Batman's an old man, and you can see the eye wrinkles in it to actually translate that to the mask. In a normal mask, if this was a piece of material, you wouldn't get that at all. I mean, that's the detail and love and the care that people put into these projects. It's pretty amazing. Over here, you've got a selection of DVDs. And what I also like is on the whiteboard, another piece of memorabilia from the production, the note from the mutants, and a great selection of like little toys and Batman memorabilia. Really, really sweet. The Giant Claw remastered. It must be something that Wyatt wants to get, an old movie that actually I use as an avatar on the replica prop forum. It's still there to this day. And then just moving right across, you've got other movies and productions, Enterprise. So you can see definitely, and there's Guardian of the Realms again, the Ted Smith film that brought. It's a very small space. You've got a computer set up. I'm going to look right over Wyatt's shoulder here, and even, some cool stuff on the desk. I love this. It really speaks to, what the interest of Wyatt is.
You can see what's starting to happen here. We've got the Dark Knight action figure with my new Carrie Kelly Robin action figure. I'm very proud of my 66 Bat Cycle here with the little sidecar that ejects. But I'm really, really quite proud of my little mini pop Dark Knight figure and my Batman Pez, which for those of you who haven't had Pez since childhood, the new Pez candy is actually quite tasty. The old Pez candy was horrible, but the new Pez candy is quite good. Some things that I'm really proud of. if you look up here, I've got a Trouble with Tribbles hallmark ornament of Captain Kirk being bombarded by all the Tribbles from the famous Trouble with Tribbles episode. And it's actually autographed by David Gerald, who wrote the Trouble with Tribbles episode. I'm very, very proud of that. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World and you've gone on the Star Tours ride, it's a little dusty, but I got this nice Star Tours tour ship, which I'm really, really proud of. And I cannot get enough of various scale Millennium Falcons. I cannot get enough of various scales of Speed Racers Mach 5. So those, I probably have about 16 different Mach 5s in my collection. This miniature bat signal, you can see the size of my hand, and this bat signal fits in this box. It lights up and it actually throws a bat symbol. Down here, we've got a small Iron Giant statue, and the Iron Giant statue, I think, came shrink wrapped to like a DVD that I bought. It was some like crazy promo thing. And this, brace yourselves, I don't know if Gil's really realized what this is yet. This photo here, this montage, Ray Harryhausen, the famous animator, came to St. Louis back in the 00s. I think it was about 2006 or 2008, 2006. And he did a presentation, and he played Jason and the Argonauts. And I was able to get a photo with him, and I was actually able to get a photo of the animation armature of the skeleton.
This is kind of cool. Look at this. This is one of their first productions. And, you know, these are the names I know. Robert Clark, Wyatt Weed, Ted Smith. You know, these are all names that are pretty... Yaron Levy, who ended up working on Saw. I mean, in a really roundabout way, I'm actually connected to all these guys through different projects well before we ever met. So that was a really quick tour of Pirate Pictures. You can totally see that Wyatt is into the same stuff that I'm. It's incredible to like reconnect with people who are creating films and are passionate about what's going on, and also see where they come from, their interest in previous productions, stuff that they grew up on, is awesome to see, and to see what all the stuff that Wyatt surrounds himself with. It's pretty amazing. So that's me visiting at Pirate Pictures. We've got a few more reports with Wyatt and Gayle. I've got some stuff coming up from Escape from New York, which is one of my all-time favorite films, and these guys were able to lug me around to a lot of the locations. It's absolutely awesome to be here, and I hope you guys get an idea of like someone else's space and where they've actually made stuff. All right, so this is me signing off from Pirate Pictures. I'm going to be jumping to the next space really, really soon, and you know, enjoy. This is Gil saying hello from St. Louis. See you soon.